So what kind of loyalty drivers can we think about? Well, I divide them into three, and I say three and then I mean four, but I divide them into three possible groups. There are transactional ones, there are functional ones, and there are emotional ones. So you've got your kind of earn and burn points reward schemes, discount schemes based on tiers, not on tiers. You've got your equivalent of Amazon Prime as it started, which is giving people access to next day delivery or always on free delivery or whatever that part of it is for you. You've got additional product, whether that's your own product or other people's product. For those of us who have been around with telecoms in any telecoms long enough, most of us will remember Orange Wednesdays as being one of the first loyalty drivers that was really outside of discounting and really trying to push where Orange customers were otherwise shopping. Secret sales, early access to sales, personal shoppers, store launch invitations, those kind of things are all either transactional or relatively functional. Let's not forget subscription basis, and that subscription basis can either be for the product or a subscription basis to allow you access to other things. Could the subscription be a subscription base for always on free delivery? Could the subscription base be for a free gift with every order? Could it be, what could that look like and how does that look like for you? Not forgetting that loyalty doesn't have to be driven by loyalty schemes. So loyalty can very much be driven by relevance and personalization. And when I talk about relevance and personalization, I don't just mean the message, the channel you're communicating with, the communication type you're giving that person. In many ways, do your customers need to think that you know them before they're prepared to really commit to you and really commit their loyalty to you? Community can really drive loyalty. So is there a place where your customers can talk, where they can share, where they can meet like-minded people, where they can be part of your brand and perhaps even shape your brand by what they're saying and how they're suggesting that you interact with them? Are there emotional connections? Do people think they've got a hidden gem? Have they found a company that no one else has? And emotionally, that makes them feel pleased and proud. Do they believe they've got the best value or quality? And if you believe that, are you selling that message? Am I clever than anyone else for finding this particularly ethical, ecological, quality, value, whatever it is you're trying to sell brand? And will that help drive my loyalty to you? Whatever it is for you, it needs to drive the behavior you are after and fit well with your brand and brand values. For example, if you're selling consumables, you'll be driving incredibly different behavior than if you're selling mattresses, which are an incredibly infrequent behavior. And therefore loyalty and what loyalty looks like and the triggers and levers you look like to engender loyalty will look very different across each of those bands. In recent years, certainly I'm talking about loyalty in kind of three different tiers of transactional, functional, emotional. And in recent years, the loyalty programs I've seen where people are running distinct loyalty programs have evolved away from exclusively behavioral, all about getting that next transaction, to include some emotional loyalty stuff. Drivers like experiences, where I'm talking about your own personal shopper, your late night shopping with champagne, whatever it is that is driving your particular customer base. However we do it, we have to be careful that we're not blinkering ourselves and trying to create a one-size-fits-all mentality. We have to understand what loyalty is to our customer base and work out how to drive it. And then, most importantly, if we do walk down this slightly difficult road of going into a proper loyalty program, we need to make sure it's contributing. We need to make sure it's delivering incremental profits, both right now and in the future. And how do we do that? How do I make sure I'm not just giving stuff away to customers who would have ordered anyway? Well, ideally, we sit there as we do in all marketing and run a fully controlled test. That can be really tough. It can be really tough, mostly because if you want to get loyalty as part of your digital journey, how do you isolate your customers who are on loyalty schemes from those who aren't? And how do you drive them down different loyalty paths? And how do you challenge those loyalty paths in a digital environment? That's why putting up a fully controlled A/B test can be challenging. And that's why sometimes it may not be possible. But whatever it is you do, you're going to need to agree those measures of success. And it's really important to agree those measures of success in advance. And if you do decide to go down the loyalty scheme or the loyalty road of building a loyalty scheme, how do you do that? Well, I've created 8 or 9 different ones for different companies over time. And my experience is really building the minimum viable product that you can launch a loyalty scheme with. And I've built ones that really are held together with sellotape and blue tack. Prove out that it works, and then spend the time, effort, and money in properly building it, embedding it in all your systems and embedding it in everything you do. But like with all marketing, you want to test and learn first. So you want to test and learn on really the minimum viable product you can put together. If you're building and agreeing measures of success in advance, then understanding the points at which you're going to measure them and the points you're going to understand, are you driving quality behavior, become a bit easier. And then the last thing is you have to hope you don't launch your new loyalty scheme into a global pandemic where all measures become a little bit pointless and your year on years become almost impossible to measure.